Dear children, welcome to biology classes. So today we are going to study about a brief account of evolution from the chapter 7 evolution. Okay, so here we will see what are the major events that took place during the process of evolution. Okay, so it is believed that around 2000 million years ago the first cellular form appeared. Okay, that is, it took many years after the origin of earth also. Okay, it took many years to form the first cellular form of life. Understood? And this might have formed from the aggregates of macromolecules. We have studied that during the origin of life. So the origin of life, I have told you, they were inorganic molecules. These inorganic molecules, they combine in different proportions, and that resulted in the formation of large biomolecules, isn't it? So this biomolecules in various proportions, they got aggregated, and this might have evolved into cells with membranes. Okay, cells, what is the speciality of a cell, or why the cell is having its characteristic? Because there is a cell membrane that separates the cell from the external medium, isn't it? So like this, what this non-cellular aggregates, they combined in different forms, okay, and resulted in the formation of a cell with the membrane. Understood? And some of them could evolve, they can release, okay, oxygen. They are evolved, they evolved in such a way that they can produce or they can release oxygen. The primitive earth's atmosphere was reducing, isn't it? Means there was no oxygen, but as cells formed, some of them slowly started releasing oxygen. The oxygen releasing process, you have learned, isn't it, in photosynthesis, how it happens? By the splitting of water. Okay, and for this light energy is required, and in the same way, okay, how water got split and they started releasing oxygen. Understood? And then after many years, slowly single celled organisms, okay, that changed into multicellular forms. Okay, so first cell formed, okay, they start producing oxygen, and slowly this single celled organisms converted to, or the multicellular evolved from single celled organisms. Okay, and by the time of 500 million years ago, around 500 million years ago, invertebrates, they formed and they were active. Means during that period, this invertebrates formed and they flourished. Okay, then jawless fish. Jawless fish, that do you remember the classification of organisms we learned in the last year? So jawless fish we have learned, isn't it? So this jawless fish, they have evolved around 350 million years ago, and seaweeds, okay, few plants, etc., also existed around 320 million years ago. So fishes, they means in the plant kingdom also revolution was taking place, and in animal kingdom also. Okay, and the first organisms that went to, okay, and it is said that life originated on water only, in water bodies, and slowly they started entering into the land, and the first organisms that invaded land were plants. Plants first, they invaded the land from water, and after that they got flourished on the land. Okay, and slowly from after that, animals also, animals, they start invading the land. So in the ocean or in the water bodies, fishes were there, fishes evolved, and from fishes, some of the fishes with stout and strong fins, they move towards the land. So they can spend some time without the help of gills. There are fishes now also, isn't it? If you catch them or if you bring them to, or to the land, they can survive without this help of gills, means without water they can survive for some more time. Okay, so that kind of fishes, they move to the land and then they go back they used to go back. And in this way, slowly fishes they started moving into the land. So in this way, fishes, okay, from fishes only what evolved amphibians. So there is one fish called coelacanth fish that was thought to be extincted. Okay, and it's actually a lob fish, lob fins. Okay, lob fins means they are having lobed fins with the muscles and nerves. Okay, so fins, what for they use actually when they are reaching to the land, they could take support with this fins. Okay, so that kind of one fish was what? Coelacanth, and it was thought to be extincted, but we got a fish during 1938. So from this, what we can understand, these fishes slowly they evolved into amphibians, which could live both in land and water. But there are no specimens of this, okay, now available. But what some that is the problem with the evolutionary history. Many of the links, okay, or many what if you study the history of the evolution with the help of fossils, many times what happens, some of the fossils may not be formed during that during their lifetime. Without the formation of fossil, they might have extincted. Or sometimes the fossils which are found, the fossils are there which we couldn't find till now. There may be fossils, but we couldn't find. So we cannot complete the history of evolution. Okay, that is the problem faced by the evolutionist. Okay, these organisms, they become the ancestors of modern day frogs and salamanders. I told from fishes only. Some of the fishes, they used to come to the land and they used to come back, okay, to the water. And in this way, some of them become the ancestors for the modern day frogs and salamanders. They are actually what? Amphibians. And from this amphibians, reptiles evolved. So the problem with the amphibians was what? Their eggs are not having shells. So they get dried up, isn't it, in the sunlight. So but the reptiles, their eggs were little more strong as they are having what? Shells. This helped them to get survived in the land conditions also. And their descendants are what? The turtles, tortoises, crocodiles, etc. And around 2000 million years ago, next to 200 million years ago, reptiles, they dominated the earth. Okay, they were different shapes, different sizes, giant forms were there, and some of them were what? Living very like what? Kings, they were ruling the earth. So at that time, the plants found were giant ferns. Ferns means which comes under pteridophytes. And this pteridophytes also got destroyed and they become the coal deposits. And the reptiles that reached to the land. Okay, so what was the condition which helped the reptiles to be a what successful land dweller? Because their eggs are having shells. Okay, so they will not get dried up in the sun. So slowly what they started multiplying on the land, and their number increased. And some of the reptiles, they went back to the water and evolved fish like reptiles. And the land reptiles, you know the common name, the dinosaurs, were the biggest animals, and the biggest of them is Tyrannosaurus Rex. Okay, and the size of them were around 20 feet in height and huge, fearsome dagger-like teeth. So these were the the Tyrannosaurus Rex's character. What are they? They are very huge in size, around 20 feet in height, and they were having what? Dagger-like teeth, isn't it? And around 65 million years ago, the dinosaurs suddenly disappeared. And really, the reason means the reasons the scientists are having different reasons to explain the extinction of this dinosaurs. Some say some meteors are what came from different spaces, different parts of the space, and that hit the earth. That may be the reason. Okay, climatic changes, and some are believing that they have evolved into birds. So the correct reason or correct thing we also don't know. Okay, so there are various theories to explain the what the dino means the dinosaurs extinction. I have told you about the periods and eras, isn't it? So you can see Paleozoic era, Mesozoic era, and Cenozoic era. These are the eras. Okay, what is geological time scale here? The history of Earth is divided into different eras, periods, etc. So the major eras are what? Paleozoic, Mesozoic, and Cenozoic. And in each era there will be different periods like Silurian, Devonian, Carboniferous, and Permian are the periods of what? Paleozoic. Okay, and Mesozoic era is having Triassic, Jurassic, and Cretaceous. So you might have heard about Jurassic, isn't it? Where you have heard Jurassic Park. Understood? And then what? In the Cenozoic era, the periods are tertiary and quaternary. Now you can see what kind of plants are prominent in this, where they originated and where they become flourished. Okay, so bryophytes you can see. Okay, then what? Lycopods, then herbaceous lycopods, all these are what? The bryophytes only. Okay, then you can see ferns, their origin here around Jurassic period, and they flourished also, isn't it? They flourished during the Jurassic period. Then you can also see the gymnosperms. Gymnosperms also were flourished during this Jurassic period. And then you can see that when the Mesozoic era means during Mesozoic era, these were the plants which were very common and prominent. And when Cenozoic era, some of the ferns and all, they survived, isn't it? They survived during this Cenozoic era. And you can see the place of the gymnosperms and pteridophytes are taken over by the angiosperms. Angiosperms or the flowering plants become the major what plants during the Cenozoic era. Understood? So like this, you can see different time the different organisms they predominated. Okay, and you can see early reptiles. Okay, they extincted around 350 million years ago, and you can see Carboniferous period. Okay, then you can see during the Jurassic period, then Permian, Triassic, Jurassic, etc. were the periods during which the reptiles were what? Flourished. Okay, and during the tertiary period, what happened? Dinosaurs extincted, and then during the Cenozoic during the Cenozoic era, that is during the modern era, you can see other organisms flourished. Okay, some of the descendants of this dinosaurs or the reptiles, they have survived along with what? Birds and mammals. Okay, some of them survived like reptiles only, and some of them have evolved into mammals and mammals and birds. So is it clear? So in this way you can see that in various era different organisms evolved and they survived and flourished. And now about the mammals, when you think, the first mammals were shrews. Okay, the first evolved mammals were shrews. And you can see that their fossils are small sized. And the advantage of these mammals was what? They are viviparous, means what they are not laying eggs. So just imagine the fish, amphibians and fishes, they lay eggs to the water, and this eggs were not protected. So what happened, they can get dried fast, so they cannot have the land life at all. And when reptiles comes, they were having shells, the eggs are having shells, so they could be protected from the drying up. And means to some extent, but there is more chance of them to get destroyed, isn't it? Eggs are not so safe when compared to mammals, where the young ones are present inside the body of the mother itself. Understood? So like this, they were having little more advantage. So mammals become, and their brain capacity was also more than the other groups. So they were very intelligent and they could sense and avoid dangers. So like this, reptiles slowly they came down, and mammals they flourished. Okay, they took over the earth. And there were in South America, okay, mammals resembling horse, hippopotamus, bear, rabbits, etc. And another phenomenon, that is continental drift. You would have studied in geography, isn't it? So when South America joined North America, the North Americans fauna, okay, they were very powerful. So they overridden, they were suppressing the other organisms. Okay, and you see the marsupial animals. Okay, I have told you yesterday, means in the live class, that is the marsupial animals or the pouched mammals, they survived in Australia because due to the continental drift. Okay, so Australia, they become isolated, and they were not having any other mammal. So there were no competition, and easily the pouched animals flourished there in the Australia. They were no competitors. Understood? And due to that, they could flourish in that continent. Okay, and this competition among the we have studied during the evolution theory, struggle for existence, isn't it? So the animals, when they struggle for existence, okay, for limited resources, the best one will be selected, and the other one won't get any chance to survive, and their genes won't be transmitted to their young ones or offspring. So in this way, from primitive organisms, large organisms or advanced organisms formed in this way only. Okay, so during the evolution, some of the mammals, they went back to the water, and there they adapted. Okay, so it's not like that what the lungs, okay, are the respiratory organs, so they can live only in where, in the land. Okay, some of them, when they went back to the water, they adapted to live in that conditions. So examples are there, mammals which are living in water. They are whales, dolphins, seals, etc. So they could evolve, or they could adapt themselves to the water or aquatic conditions. Understood? So in this way, you can see that the brief account means from where to where they have evolved. So can you summarize this? That is from the macromolecules of giant sizes. Okay, they are combination or aggregates that resulted in cellular forms or cells formed, and the cells formed were unicellular, and from that what happened, slowly multicellular organisms evolved, isn't it? And from multicellular organisms, some of them start evolving oxygen. Okay, and they evolved into invertebrates. Then from invertebrates, okay, vertebrates evolved. Understood? And from fishes, amphibians evolved. From amphibians, reptiles. From reptiles, mammals and birds. Okay, it is not like that mammals are formed from birds. Mammals and birds, they have evolved directly from reptiles. Okay, so this is the a brief story of evolution. Understood? And to this, we are what depending on fossils, okay, and other studies like embryological study. All this we study now. Do you remember? I have told you one sentence, that is ontogeny recapitulates the phylogeny. Now phylogeny, you just imagine what is that. From this single celled organism, okay, that is unicellular organism, how this forms of mammals evolved. Now a small idea you might have got. So that history is known as what? Phylogeny, evolutionary history. That is repeated during what? Ontogeny. Because in the embryological development, the organism go through their evolutionary history. Understood? So this is the statement, means the meaning of the statement what? Ontogeny repeats or recapitulates the phylogeny. So hope this much is very clear. We'll continue in the next class. Thank you.